What happened to Earth in Starfield? Though we don't have a direct answer for that yet, it's one of the lingering questions that every fan who has seen every Starfield video has on their mind. Based on footage we've seen thus far, it looks like Earth is doing pretty bad. And I think Todd Howard and the team are giving us just enough little tidbits to show us just that. So in today's video, we're going to look at everything we found through the Starfield Direct, through other videos, and see if we can make our best theory about what has happened to Earth in the Starfield universe. And to do that, I think the first place we have to look is the new Earth, essentially Jemison, in the Alpha Centauri system, and its main city, New Atlantis, which has been at the forefront of just about every Starfield clip and video here of late. And we know Todd Howard has repeatedly said that he's used NASA information to help make this game. And one of the really interesting things is that the Alpha Centauri system is believed to be a real system that NASA has spotted. And they think a super Earth is there that's habitable. So I think it's only natural that they make this the main hub or main city in the game that, at least at the moment, seems to have the most dense population. And because of that, it's the main capital for the United Colonies. In addition to the hub for the United Colonies, it seems to be the main capital for several galaxies, including our own solar system. And speaking of our own solar system, we do know, in fact, there is one city we'll visit, the city of Cydonia on Mars. Apparently, it was our first mining expedition on Mars as we left Earth. And once we came across this in the Starfield Direct, we noticed that it paled in comparison to the blue and green we've always seen and know of Earth. In fact, that's not the first clip we've seen that was possibly something on Earth to tell us that something bad happened. In one of the previous videos, we see the arch, or appears to be the arch in St. Louis, Missouri, that is definitely dilapidated, but is still standing. In addition to that, during a clip where our character touches one of the relics, we get a glimpse of what looks like a spaceship or a NASA ship that didn't leave Earth. Now, possibly neither of these things could be on Earth, but the arch is very, very, very like the one in St. Louis. So I, like myself and many others, think that it definitely is Earth. And we do know that Earth is in turmoil, that it's not livable and something there has happened. And as far as the spaceship goes, I kind of let that slide for a while until someone pointed out to me that at the very bottom of what appears to be the track or rack that the ship is on, you can see it says what looks like to be NASA or NASA X or NASX, definitely a similar logo to the NASA logo. So I think all the hints are there, all the tidbits are there. They want us to know that Earth has been destroyed or not livable, and it's up to us to figure out what happened. And we know that's coming. In fact, I think part of the excitement to look at all these things is that we know something's wrong, we just don't know the details yet. It's almost like knowing a movie is coming out, but you go to the theater because you want to know the experience of how something led up to something. One of the major things I really want to know, and I hope they tell us right off the bat when we do that mission to Earth, is how quickly did we have to get off of Earth? I did a previous video where we come across a generational ship that had apparently left Earth and didn't even know humans were in space when we find it. Was that just a scout-like mission, or was that one of the many ships sent off because Earth was ready to be destroyed imminently? Or was it sent off because we knew Earth was dying and it was a gradually slow death, and one after another, everyone just left Earth in a slow manner? I'm definitely eager to find out and definitely excited with anticipation. I hope you are too. Now, it's one thing to look at screenshots and what we think could happen that look obvious to some and maybe speculative to others, but when we first meet the Constellation group, we see a ton of stuff in the room. Obviously, they are explorers and they're trying to explore as much of space as they can, but we see things from Earth. For instance, there's a ship that, though it's not confirmed, looks eerily close to the one Charles Darwin sailed around the world with. Then we see other clips of preservation rooms where it looks like there is Japanese terracotta soldiers, Greek and Roman statues, a lot of stuff right in our face that maybe when you're not thinking about it, you don't really think much of it. But now that we've had time to examine since the Direct, I, and many others, speculate that these are stuff brought from Earth in its dying days. Now, because of all these artifacts that we've seen, it really gets me thinking that did they leave and get all this stuff off Earth right before Earth collapsed, or it was unlivable, or were these slowly progressed off of Earth through time? Or did they go back and get them after Earth was destroyed or unlivable, and they were still able to go in, grab them, and take them to said cities, said established colonies, things like that? Of course, only time will tell what the ultimate verdict is when we get that mission. But to have this many artifacts, as we see in a couple clips, it makes me feel that these things were slowly taken off Earth and not immediately. So with that bulk of information that we've seen, I've come to the conclusion, at least my theory, is that I think Earth slowly was dying. We see clips also of mechs that are possibly on Earth, broken down mechs, and they may not be Earth. But if we take that into consideration, I think my ultimate theory is going to be this. I think Earth was dying either from lack of natural resources and or war of some sort, especially since we know in space we have war between the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective. But did that war start on Earth? Did it carry over into space? I think it very well could have. I think that the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies, since we were already established in space, may not have liked what the United Colonies were doing, and that's what sparked the war. And whatever little resources we had left on Earth were used up to progress that war. But that is my theory on what we think happened to Earth, and I would love to hear yours as well. So please, comment below, and if you like this kind of content, if this was valuable to you and gave you some insight or information that maybe you didn't have, would love to see you hit that subscribe button and follow along for more Starfield.